This is Beats Within. We're in Oaxaca. I've been here for the last 2.5 weeks and catching up with La Chingona Supreme, Christina, our producer, who without her work, none of this could be possible. And fortunate enough to be hanging out with Yescka, one of her really longtime friends, who she met in 2006 when her and her esposo, Bobby Dale Gromit, who I interviewed in episode 1 of Beats Within, they were married here in 2006. There's a lot of history in this town and a lot of history between their friendships, and I have witnessed so much in this, the communication between them two, and Yescka has taken us around the town and shown us what he loves and what I have now fallen in love with as well. Yescka is a famous street arter, gallery owner, entrepreneur, musician, my future 5th husband.
Sure.
So welcome. 4th maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And we want to hang around so we can ask some questions and listen to, what his heart has to say to us. Yescka, mi amor.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know everything about you. We ran around this town and you showed me so much, and it is your history, and so I want to know, where were you born first of all? And was it, if it was Oaxaca, if it wasn't Oaxaca, and when did you come here? So let's talk a bit about that. Tell me about your first steps.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad to meet you guys. And yes, I'm born in Oaxaca, and soy Oaxaqueño. And yeah, I'm start to do art since I was a kid. And then, I was like, in 2006 is when the struggle in Oaxaca became, and then was like a big struggle here, like very crazy. Christina knows about this. She was here when I met her, and Bobby.
Yeah.
And then I was in this struggle to like supporting the movement with art. I was doing many art in the streets with my friends too. We had a collective in this time, so we were like painting a lot in the streets, just to try and make art to support this struggle,
Yeah.
Because we were very into in this moment, and then for me it was very important to do that. Because I got like my thing for make art, my way, mi camino.
Yes.
Yeah, because in this time I was a student in fine art school, so in that time I was like, what I going to do? Because now I know that I have the tools, I know the techniques, but so you need, for make art you need like
ganas.
Sí, ganas, feelings, like heart and everything, passion, and to make also good concept, because art is not, for me art is not just make art like beautiful or like this, or aesthetic things,
Right. So you are in school in 2006 when the resistance happens, and you decide that your art is going to move in the direction of supporting the resistance. Before the resistance, what did you think that you were going to do? Were you just...
I was trying to make like a more like a folklore art, like more like about Oaxaca, because this is the influence for the older artists here, como los viejitos. Yes, I mean it's good, but
it's history.
But it's story is about own culture, nuestra cultura, but and you try to follow. But also, like when you are like, for me it's very important to say that, because when you are studying art, so sometimes the schools always just trying to push you for just to sell art, to if you are selling art, then you are like successful, and if you ellos enseñan, como just una dirección, Y ellos, they told me like before 2006, they told me like, you have to go to the galleries to see what is the art now, to get influence. I mean, it's okay to know about the influence, but in the end, you're like maybe making copies about, you know,
not original.
the older artists, you know, like try to be like them, you know.
Yes.
But then I was thinking, I was always thinking, oh, when I am smart, so I say like, I have to make like in this time, you know, before 2006, I have to make, I know, like use, because I have to make use like one style and make always this style, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then people, because when I saw in the galleries, I saw like, you know, this artist is the same than this because it's the same, they're just different colors, you know. Like,
right, yeah.
And then like you don't have to see the sign now because you know.
Right.
But because they make, you know, it's part of me also for their artists to make like a series.
Right.
But you know, like sometimes they never change, you know.
Right. The process that they begin, that every artist begins, that process, they don't break that mold. They don't begin to expand.
Yeah. Just they always like stay in the comfortable place, you know, because they know that this is my key or what
that's gonna sell, right.
to sell and to, you know, people know now, and they don't have like more experience for me. You know? But I said, well, okay, well, maybe I have to do the same, and so I was trying to make one style like just like the same style was like squares, but was look at like a textiles, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like was younger, but I was like having success with the people. You know? Well, the people like it. It's like, oh, I like this style. But for me, it was like, I mean, it's like good, it's colors, this, but you know, like it's folklore. I mean, I like it, but it's okay. But I say, maybe I know this is the way, you know.
Right.
But then 2006 came, you know, and this big movement and very like a socio-politico movement, and then I was there and I was learn more, you know, about the real things, you know, the passion, you know. So este movimiento despertó en mí fuerza, ¿no? Y también un camino, ¿no? Como enseñó. So I discovered for me the art is not only like, you know, folklore, it's beautiful. So art also have powerful things, tiene poder, ¿no? Y también works for making conscience, you know.
Yes.
Trabaja para hacer conciencia, para to give something to the people, ¿no? You know, about the story, about the make think to the people, hacer a la gente pensar, ¿no?
Verdad,
because sometimes, you know, like all the things are stay in the control, no?
Yes.
Están controladas.
Even the art that people before you. So there's the control of the
because
artists.
now for museums, institutions, they control the art, you know?
And the government controls over everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And the socio-political movement actually began in the education area with students and the teachers. And before, like, I would like to get into that. When I first came to Oaxaca in 2001 to 2022, 2021 to 2022, I was here for New Year's, and realized that this was a highly socio-political movement that had been happening, and had not really understood when it started, what it was about. I didn't know anything about the movement. On January 1st, I left our Airbnb and walked down the street, and I saw a procession, the march of red flags and people walking silently. And it was later that day that we were in a coffee shop, and someone had said they were part of that parade, and that somebody that they had wanted was put into power. So I would like you to tell us about what happened in 2006 with Oaxaca and the revolution. How did it start? Where did it go, and where are we now?
Okay. Okay, this for my tourist friends. Yes, no, I want to say this because like I mean, sometimes tourists just know about to Oaxaca now, about to the good food, you know, like good places, architecture.
Sí.
But Oaxaca is more like that, you know, and Oaxaca is the second place more poor in Mexico.
Oh.
So if you go around the city, you know, in the barrios, ghettos, it's totally different, you know, like really like poor people suffering and this. But it's because always the governments is taking the money and is not doing nothing. No? They roban. Roban. ¿Cómo se dice?
Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin
Hood. That was a good guy, but they're stealing. They're taking. They're thieving.
So they get the money and they don't do nothing for
Right.
So only the center is better because here is the restaurants for the rich people, and also some governments or politicians, they are owners of some places, and also for the businessman. So they try to show this because they get the money back,
right.
Because they are like make an inversion,
for themselves, give back.
Yeah. So, but people that is not in the center is different. It's total different life. So in this time, the fucking government was like a fucking fascist.
Yeah.
So they here is a lot social movements. There's muchos movimientos, ¿no?
Sí.
Anarchists, communists, magonistas,
indigenous.
indigenous. So always they are working like organization,
right.
Son organizaciones muy grandes. So they always they work like that because it's la única forma, the unique form.
Yeah.
La única forma
para
just like take something from the government, So they always make marchas.
Yeah.
Like
the marches and the protests. We're here, our voice.
Yeah, but that fucking government, he said like he was very fascist. Always they bring the police and just kick it them, And I saw one time before 2006, and remind. For that I was very like a rebel or like a very into in this movement because was the time for me to push all my hate to them,
Yeah,
because
you're young, you have that energy.
Yeah. Because one time I saw like some indigenous making a manifestation in Zócalo, and I saw the police like like hitting them, and even women, I see like indigenous, like. And I was trying to help, but I didn't say like, I was like afraid because like I don't understand what's happening.
Right.
But I see like it's not good,
it's
like
wrong.
Why you like fucking pushing like indigenous women there? And I get mad, like angry, but they say like, fuck, like it was like what I can do,
Right.
I was too young, and then after this 2006. Like me, I think many people was very angry,
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have political conscience,
right.
or you don't know about the political things, you have this fucking feeling, Y entonces when this came, so for me and I think for more people is the time now to push all my fucking courage to them, like mi coraje, porque so that thing was growing, and then like many people, not only the organization, we were fighting against the government, because many people was very angry because they don't hear us, no nos escuchan.
Right. And now listening to their people, and the people are the ones who make the city. The people are the ones that keep the city running. And without them, even right now we're going through a garbage strike, and and I'm happy, I'm proud of that. I mean, are the streets filled with that? And especially after a really big holiday, we were here for Dia de los Muertos, and you see tourists thinking that maybe this is just what Oaxaca is or what's Mexico. I see them taking photos of the garbage without understanding that they don't understand that there's a reason behind that. It's not that they didn't want to clean that. It's because they're not being heard.
Yeah, that thing before, now it's the same like before 2006, like people or tourists don't understand, don't care. And after 2006, many people, also people that came here, was many activists. They came here and they we were building good things after 2006.
Yes.
Also, I think for me and for many people, we after some these things happened, when it's very strong, then it's like born another
Right.
thing.
Yes.
So I am proud about this movement because this movement give it to me conscience, give it to me the way for my art.
Yes.
Give it to me this conscience to make art,
Sí.
and not only make art for art,
Sí.
como,
There's a purpose.
and I have like now my own space,
Yeah.
and also more like kids can have ellos pueden show su arte.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're part of that path. You're building that future for them to see that there is, just like when you were seeing the traditional folklore and you knew that that was part of your history and origin, now is folklore. The movement is now folklore.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
this
yeah.
is what is becoming for kids, the children of niños.
Yeah,
They're coming in, they're seeing that, and that continues. It's that gift that you were given and the struggle, and now you are speaking for the people. And right now, is there, what do you want for the future of Oaxaca to move forward to? What do you hope that happens in the next 5-10 years?
I think this problem is only in Oaxaca. I think it's a global thing, like a global problem with the economy.
Mm-hmm.
So the economy is like falling down.
It's crumbling.
And for like poor states like this, gonna be like more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's no way to survive, then gonna be a big problems in many places. Like we are more poor.
Right.
We have more poor people, or more the economy is not good, or something like this.
Right.
But for example, I see this Day of the Dead, for example, when much people came here to enjoy the culture and everything. It's good for all, like many people that is close to the city,
Right.
because the money always is more like here.
Right.
But I can see like most people now is coming just only for like food, drink, because it's not enough money to them. Right. Too. The tourists just came and just buy food and drink,
right.
parties.
Yeah.
Just like the things that they is having like more
like surface. It's not deep.
Yeah. But it's like the people that they came for that,
Right.
Just like to make party and to enjoy and this, and they need food for sure.
Right.
Right. So, but with for example with art and other stuff that I see in other stores, they don't sell the same,
Yeah.
So it's getting little like worse after pandemic too,
Right.
So it's difficult for people, like it's getting difficult. And now, for example, in all of Mexico, Oaxaca too, the prices are very expensive for food,
Mm-hmm.
So
it's it's a global inflation, right? The global economy, and our people are still not being taken care of.
And the worst thing, para los estados más pobres es peor, ¿no? It's worse for the poor states,
Yeah, they feel it more. They're more impressions. Yeah, the loss.
Because, for example, I see the prices for the rice and beans, or the people like corn are high for eggs, no?
Right.
And I see because I came from like a barrio, so I visit my mom sometimes there, and I saw like the neighbors there, and it's always there like mad or like complaining about fucking my money is nothing, like it's going very fast, and I don't have like only for food sometimes, like
they can't enjoy life. And there's a common, I think, a misconception or a common thought that people who aren't poor, the richer people, they think that somebody who is poor shouldn't have fun, They shouldn't have party. They shouldn't have an iPhone. They shouldn't have a TV because, you know, that's their fault and that's their problem. And that, you know, that they need to focus on the money that they have to survive, and therefore they don't deserve happiness. They don't deserve life. And and so that, you know, is something that I know I talk about in my circles. I talk about on the internet, and I want to talk a little bit about, you know, your home where you grew up and where you were in the streets. Yescka is. Could you tell me where that Yescka comes from? Because that's not your born name, right?
I mean, no, I realize. But Yescka is coming from the streets. I mean, Yescka came from my graffiti name. So I was a writer before.
Yes.
Well,
sí.
Still writer. Still writer. You can put it in your finger too. I mean, I like to. This name came for that, and Yeska means street calle. Is you flip the syllables, you know.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
So means this. So I was like starting to do that, you know. Mm-hmm. And after in 2006, still painting, and also when I started to do this kind of art, we don't have a space to sell own art, you know,
right.
Because you know, like galleries and museums, they say like, no, they are afraid of this, you know, like this is not art. They told us, like, this is just like propaganda. They say like, okay, I don't care. Then we start to sell my art on the streets too, so, you know. So the first gallery that I had was the street, you know, like even so. Doing my art, like street art, but also my art to sell was in the street, you know, like it was selling my art in the floor. Yeah. So this for that I met a lot of people sometimes because they came and they buy my work from the street, and then say like, it's cool, and I had a good experience with that because sometimes some people buy for like in years and they ask where I am, no? Where I am. Right. And they are like very proud when they see, wow, I have one art from when you started in the street. I remember. Right. I want to buy one more piece, you know, like. Absolutely. And they are like
collecting it. Yeah. Your history. They're collecting the history, and that is proud. Christina talks about how proud she is because she met you in 2006 when you were younger, just at that moment we discussed earlier, and your turning point, your pivot point, and then they lost touch because the internet and social media hadn't been, it wasn't like it is today where you can find anyone and anything. And they saw you on Anthony Bourdain. And they said, "That's my friend. Can you?" I don't think I've seen that episode. Can you tell me about what was like, you know, meeting Anthony Bourdain and that?
Was like a crazy experience because first I didn't know like about him. I know he's very famous, and I didn't know too. You know, sometimes you don't know. Like, right. Like that. So the team or the staff wrote to me and they say like, it's possible to have one interview with you and Anthony Bourdain. You will show. I was like, who's that guy? It was like this, no? Yeah. And I was living in Mexico City in that time, and I had a flight to go to Spain, and that time, and then I was asking who is the guy, you know, like, and I was writing my friends from USA that because I know he's from USA and seen him. And I was asking him, what the fuck? Like, please do it. And I was like, really? And most of friends that I'm saying, and I was asking, they said, okay, then I'm gonna change my flight because, because they tell me like it's good thing. So okay, let's change. And and I changed my flight, and then I came here to Oaxaca and I met him here. and we have the interview. Yeah, some mezcals.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it was good because he was interested in my piece, and for me it's very important because this piece that is in the show is one of my favorite pieces because it's talking about how it works in Mexico, like with the corruption and everything, and the politicians and businessmen and
Is this the
religion and everything.
Is it the piece that's the Jesus' Last Supper? Is that the piece where you have that
Mexican
one?
Last
Right.
Supper.
I hear that talked about often when like the importance of that piece, and it is your favorite piece, and it is still relevant today. It's timeless. It's a timeless piece. That piece will be forever.
Yeah.
Even now, when at this moment we're doing this interview, we are about hitting a month and almost the second month of the Iranian revolution that's occurring right now, Women, Life, and Freedom, and it's a similar corruption where the people in power have children who don't wear the hijab. They drink. They can do everything that's punishable by death in Iran, and we see this as well in America, where Elon Musk owns Twitter. Somebody, the Facebook is being owned, where you have conglomerates and everyone's being owned, and they're paying the government off, and it's not going to change. But your art will keep evolving and showing that image and speaking and being that voice. When we saw you, when I first came here to the night that I arrived, you were working on a piece, and it was very intricate. It's something similar to this, just digging and going in, and we were talking, and you were very much in that place. And what is it like for you when you're in your lithograph and your carvings, and you're really there? What is that like for you? How do you feel? How do you feel there?
Okay, I will tell you something. I do like 2 or 3 kinds of pieces, or like algo, and also I'm afraid, like we say before, I'm not that kind of artist that is afraid to change or to make something different,
Right.
Because why I say that? Because I think we have different feelings sometimes, So my work is more about that. I feel is about what is happening, make conscious,
Right.
And I like it because it's make funny things to make conscience too,
Right.
or to make or to take like a good concept or something very iconic, to be strong.
Right.
And this is my people knows more about it, no? But right. I have many also when I feel sometimes to be very into the socio-political problems, then you get sometimes tired too. Let's say,
Yeah.
Because it's too much, and then
Yeah.
but it's good, and I like it. I mean, then I say this is my free time, and then I paint more whatever I want. It's just for. No, I don't care if people they buy or not,
Right.
but it's more about just do it, and
Right.
just to push
Right.
your things over
Yeah.
colors and this,
Yeah.
and that pieces also people buy,
Right, right.
because it's not the thing for me when you are doing art is don't think about to sell,
Right.
don't think about you're gonna sell, then you are thinking about money and not thinking about art, because then it's you're like machine but painting
Right.
I do exercise, for
Yeah.
now I want to do that and it's different. I don't care.
Right.
I want to build. Sometimes I build houses. I have one. You don't put in your finger. I have one Airbnb.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say I am artist, I am singer, or I am dancer, or something like this. No, sorry, but I will say I am creative.
Yeah. You make.
You make creativo,
Creativo, sí.
or artista in all the ways. Maybe in one's better, and in one's worse or whatever. I don't know, but the thing is you have to do what you feel, what you want. This is my thing. And I don't think is the people gonna like or not. I do for me. For example, like when I build my house, I say I like, this is my style, that's what I want. It's like when you decorate your house or you are building your own house, you say. And it's good because some people came, it's totally different. It's not like the same house that all people have. No,
right.
It's more original, it's yours.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. And for me, for example, I in my life that I was thinking always is I want to do like this. For example, I want to paint. I want to make this sculpture. But for example, I want to write also one book because it's it's another like a dream.
Yeah.
So when you are creative, you have dreams, but you have to do it. Don't think about is the people gonna read.
Right.
Now, for example, don't be shy to do it.
Yeah.
For example, like I know like a musician, like a real. I mean.
Yeah.
But I am.
Yes.
No? I do. I do in music, no.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I don't wanna get famous with this music,
right.
But I do because it's for me. Because when it's done, I'm happy to see me in singing and in the video,
Right.
The thing that I learned is just do it that you want.
Yes.
So I want to do another thing that is in my thing too. It's like another like I want to make like one like ¿cómo se dice en inglés? Like a film.
See a movie, like a film.
Yeah. So I was thinking, it's for that when you have, I know many people has good ideas and this, but it's difficult for money,
Right.
dinero. But for me, it's always that just doing just do it, whatever you have,
Right.
If you have one telephone and and good camera, but you don't have to pay nothing, just try to buy one microphone or whatever and do it.
Yes.
And this is original,
Right.
But if you're thinking about it's because it's money, then you're going to do nothing,
Right.
I know it's difficult when you don't have nothing, but you can get the way for sure. But you have to just think about to do,
Yes.
And this is for me just do whatever you want, as that say to the people or to me. Like I don't care if money back or not,
right?
Because maybe it's more make me more happy when I see the result,
Verdad, sí.
It's como yeah. And when you see people like it,
because it's out of you now, it's there.
And then the opportunity came because some people sometimes is coming around. Is like, you do that, okay? What you need for make more,
Right.
I can't help you,
Right.
But if you don't show nothing, it's only in your mind.
Right.
You have to make material, no materializar.
Yes. Sí.
And then it's like, just do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do whatever I want. And I know it's step by step. Now I finished these new songs, and I make in the videos, and I try to make always with all the heart and professionals, professional that I can, it's not big company behind nothing, but it's it's professional. I say I looking for good people that is starting too, and it's not expensive, and it's good, and I think also it's good, and I can have this match with him for work, and then it's like, okay, you like this project? And talking, and also it's good for all to work together and grow something,
Right, because this is for the BeatsWithin audience, because you have just spoken to this, so you know this. And all the musicians and all the artists that I've ever interviewed, even when I did my first podcast with Dub Academy, the Dub Pod, interviewing DJ Craze, I think was one of the more well-known musicians. They always said this: do what you want to do. You don't wait for something better. You don't wait. You don't make your art wait. When you do, what you're doing and what you're saying right now, it will inspire others, and people want to help. I have artist friends right now that are doing really well, and they've gotten further because they've taken the offers of help from other people in different parts of the industry, the filmmakers or, like the different artists, and you grow together. That experience that you do when you create together, now you have a videographer that has one more project that they've done.
Yeah.
They've expanded their thought because they are now creating the art they want to do. So it's an ecosystem.
Yeah,
and
sure.
the music that you showed us, I saw the video. So just a side note is that to that, whenever you are when you're going to see someone's art for the first time, right? Like you were showing us the video, you never know what you're going to get into. You never know what you're going to see. And completely impressed of what I saw. For this was your first video that you've done. Phenomenal. Your rapping, your message, your cadence and style and flow was very, very well done. And for someone's first video project, it was astounding. I'm amazed. And so could you tell us what the name of the song is and what that's about?
Well, there's two songs, but the first one that you saw, the first video that you saw, is about called El Dolo, and it's a really hard moment for me that I live, que yo viví, and just push it, in this video, and that thing is like it's my life too, it's about my life. It's very. So also in this moment I'm thinking too if I show or not, because it's very
vulnerable.
It's very mine,
So it's private.
It's like kind of like I don't know if I can if I have to or no. It's only for me, because this is the thing now. And the next one is called el himno del migrante. So, himno in English, what do you say? Himno?
El himno de inmigrante?
Himno is like the song of the immigrant. Yeah.
The song of the immigrant.
But himno is like when you do like a Mexican song, like for Mexico or for the country.
Or the anthem for the immigrant.
Yeah.
So this is for the voice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's talking about the immigrants, and I like it because it's not just saying like victims immigrants. I try to give power to them, like, we are the fucking motherfuckers. We are crossing the border, like we are the wolf in the like crossing the border, and
it's hard. It's a difficult thing. It's a powerful thing to do.
So just let's do it, and it's talking. It's all the world is our land, and something like this,
Right.
And when people, I think so, I like it because when people gonna hear or gonna listen, gonna sentirse identificados, como they're gonna feel, the power to. And I think so when they are crossing, they have headphones. They're gonna put.
Right. It's gonna motivate them to keep going because they're supported. Especially after Trump's, 4 years of abuse and oppression of both Americans and Central Americans and Southern Americans, they need to know that they are still supported, and they'll do it whether they are or not. But it is important that they know that we want them to be free, we want them to be strong. And we want them to have their own soundtrack, their own anthem, which is, again, a part of history. Like the art that you made, it's your favorite piece. It's timeless. Immigration has been happening before there were borders because the colonizers came, they immigrated to North America. Yo soy Tejana, Zapachi, Camachi, Carancoa, pero colonizers, Spaniards, right? And so even in America, I will be told to go back to where I came from.
Yeah.
But my ancestors are Tejano and Tejana. They've always been here. And there were no lines. Our people all crossed with each other continuously. And so thank you for making the anthem. We need to hear that. I really, really love talking with you about all of this. Before we go, is there anything that you want the people to know?
Yeah, just for all the people that I say the same. Just do whatever you want. And then is to be strong to do and don't care about what people are gonna say. Just do it.
Yes, agree. That's all we can do. That's all anyone's ever done. We're at a higher altitude, and I am weepy. I almost cried several times in this interview. I get very weepy here. I also, when I'm in a plane, I cry. Like even in movies, I shouldn't. It's the altitude thing. So, I'm gonna cry after this interview. I love you so much.
Yeah, you have a good song.
Me too, Yescka. I love you so much. I can't wait to hang out again, and hopefully it'll be longer than 2.5 weeks. I'm in a transition period myself, so we'll see what's next for both of us.
Sure.
All right, let's go to dinner.
Yeah.
Bye.